Hey, this is Vikrant. I'm from Top Gun India Riding Academy. I'm the chief instructor. We are a premium motorbike training academy based in Mumbai, and we specialize both in street and adventure style of riding. This is our first ever motorbike review, and I'm pretty excited with the bike that I have today. What we're gonna look is on 5 things of a motorbike, which is looks, because it really matters, performance, price point, because if it is too expensive you cannot get it, practicality, and overall handling. What we're gonna do is we're gonna give 10 points each to these points and see how much is the overall rating for this particular bike. So I am really excited because today I'm reviewing this beauty. The Ducati Scrambler 1100 Pro recently launched in India at 11.99 lakhs ex-showroom. It gets new two-tone color scheme called Ocean Drive, along with a new dual exhaust on the right, new number plate holder, and a new livery too. Apart from styling updates, it gets new seat, a shorter fender at the rear, and in addition to the new styling updates, it gets marked Zoki forks up front and Kayaba monoshock at the rear. The engine is 1079cc L-twin, which is air-cooled and makes 85 brake horsepower at 7,500 RPM. It is paired to a 6-speed gearbox. The 1100 Pro model gets traction control, cornering ABS, and 3 riding modes: active, city, and journey. Brembos are standard and build quality is superb. Hey, that was all about the performance spec. Now it is time to ride this beauty in the real world. So what are we waiting for? Let's get on with it. My goal was to ride the Scrambler in various phases of ride, especially city riding, traffic riding, and also a bit of off-roading. The moment I got onto the bike, it felt really good as the wide handlebar gives you a good stance on the bike. It definitely has a good road presence, and the ride quality was also nice. Especially the occasional speed breakers, when it came, the suspension was acting really well and won't give you much of a feedback. But when it came to traffic, it was not that good experience. The bike, being an air-cooled engine, was heating up really fast, and I was not comfortable at all riding inside the traffic. A really cool feature is that you can change the riding mode while you are on the go between city, journey, and active. I personally preferred the journey mode even while I was in city. And once I put on the active mode, the bike had a different character altogether. It was as if I was holding a bull by its horn. After a short high-speed burst, it was time to put the bike off-road, and I was really surprised by its agility and the fact that being almost 6 feet tall, I could stand comfortably on a short-looking motorbike. The good fact that it has dual personality, that is being good on the road as well as off-road. Talking about the modes, the startup display is pretty exciting. Now we have a control switch on the left handlebar. You can choose 3 different types of riding mode, that is the city, journey, or active mode. Currently on the display was active. The city mode is nice, but I felt a lot of clutch throttle control to be made, and the response was not that great. So even in city, I preferred the journey mode. And the active mode was super fast. It really brings the motorbike alive, and I could really cruise through the highway pretty well. Other than that, the RPM tachometer is not that clearly displayed, and first time user will probably have to search for it. I felt maybe a better display could have been added there. Other feature is the auto headlamps, which you can select to be on or off. The switch is on the right where you put it off or on. What it does basically is when environmental light is dim or low, headlamps will come on automatically. So that is a pretty cool feature there. Rest, the overall display is pretty nice, and the visibility is also good during bright sunlight which was over my head when I was riding the bike. Another good cool feature is the indicator light, which is auto cancelling. So in case of a turn, you forget to switch them off, it will stop automatically. There are a lot of other functions you get. Ducati's popular DCT control, which comes in 3 different modes. There is ABS, which is standard and can be switched on or off as you like. Traction control can be switched off for advanced riding skill. There is a gear indicator feature which is pretty good, but of course this bike is premium, so it was expected. On the right side you have the engine cutout switch and starter switch, which is common across all Ducati models. Below it is the auto headlamp switch, which I talked about earlier, and you can select on off from here on the go. There is a hazard switch which surely can come in handy in various situations. Essentially, put switch on and the hazard light will come on here. Other bikes I have seen have slightly tricky way to put them on, so this is a nice addition to the bike. The default DRL is nice but not that bright. I personally like the X design on the headlamps, and it is essentially derived from old racing days where riders would tape their headlights so in case of a crash, the headlights don't scatter on track. When you put auto switch on, the DRL becomes more brighter, and this is the mode I personally like, as it brings out the character of the Ducati Scrambler, and onlookers from far can definitely identify that a Scrambler is heading their way. The headlamps unfortunately is halogen, and I wish there was an LED light fitted, and considering a premium you are paying, I'm slightly disappointed with this kind of setup. After putting the bike in various phases of ride, it is time now to give points based on the facts that we mentioned earlier in the show. When it comes to looks, I give 6 points out of 10 because it definitely has a road presence, especially with that round headlamps with the X moniker on it. When it comes to performance, I like to give 6 points out of 10 as it's really a different character, especially in the active mode where all the 1100cc power comes to full use. When it comes to price, I like to give it 5 points out of 10 as it's slightly expensive than its competition with better performance numbers. Overall practicality, I like to give 5 points out of 10 as it really gets hot in traffic conditions, and city is where one can spend much of the time. Overall handling, I like to give 6 points out of 10 as it's really good on open roads as well as on off-road. Well folks, that's the end of the show, and if you really liked watching this video, please do hit the subscribe button, like and share. Thank you for watching. This is Vikrant from Top Gun India Riding Academy signing off. Goodbye.